bought in a premise of just how fat I'm going to be post-Christmas. Box VR was a sale item that I picked up on Black Friday and is available for PSVR as well as PC and VR options there. It's a PSVR version you're seeing on your screens. I wanted something that would give me more options to basically move my fat ass around post-Christmas, but also before as well, because it's really been rhythm action and VR games that have kept me not being so sedentary during this lockdown where I'm working from home every single day of the year. Box VR has been a welcome addition and has really kept me on my toes and has been staving away the boredom actually from some of the other rhythm action games because of its plethora of content. The actual design of the rhythm action / fitness game though is very basic but easy to pick up. You'll basically, with your two move controllers, they become your boxing gloves, and then you've got orbs kind of coming in towards you around 3 different arenas, and then you've got about 100 tracks, which is superb for the base game, and a variety of different workouts that will kind of either target certain actions or certain movements, or be at different intensities depending on how hard you want to push and for how long you want to push. Whilst different songs will kind of fit into different genres, you can then pick and play your own playlists as you go along and curate your own kind of workout if you wanted to as well, but I was quite happy just rummaging through what was there. When the orbs come towards you, they're in 2 different lanes, obviously for your left boxing glove and your right boxing glove, and you'll need to punch forward and like proper jab. If you just line up with your mitts, it doesn't actually count as a hit at all, so you have to put some force into it, and it's that where the kind of fitness element comes in, because you will need to go with some force. It also tells you that you need to stand in certain stances by putting certain feet forward, and the way how the orbs come down towards you are kind of based around that, and I thought that was really cool. Not only do you need to punch forward, you also will be instructed to kind of side jab from the side. I don't know what the technical term is for that, you can tell I box, but I do know the technical term for an uppercut, and you'll need to do those as well. You'll also need to kind of occasionally weave from side to side, as well as squat down. And quite often when things start to get really intensive, not only are you kind of like chaining up like left, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, duck, smash, smash, up, uppercut, it will really chain them up, and it will run with the rhythm really nicely, so it can really be declared as a rhythm action game. But it is designed to basically get your heart racing, and also what I found is there's an awful lot of long-term squatting in this game, which I found, I've got thunder thighs, and I could really feel the burn on them, and I was playing, I'd done like an hour straight, and my thighs were aching the next day, which I take as a good thing because basically they've done bugger all year. So 2 thumbs up for me for that. A couple of really good things that Box VR does, and one of them is actually in the collaboration, or calibration, sorry, is the word I was trying to go for there, of your move controllers against where your mitts are. So you can press and hold a button and then kind of realign where your move controllers are. And that sounds like a really weird thing to kind of point out, but it's because where it's tracking where the move controller light is, that's not necessarily where you think you're punching. So the ability to kind of say, do you know what, actually put that light in the centre of my mitt, then really helps when you're trying to line stuff up. It took me a while to get into the calibration and the kind of lining up of Box VR, and I did still struggle on it several hours later, specifically with uppercuts. I don't know if it's just me not quite timing it right, but quite often most of my uppercuts, especially early on, none of them were hitting at all, and I was a bit like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. And then I started to get a little bit better at it, but it still feels a tiny bit hit and miss for me personally on PSVR. I'm not sure if it's down to me or if it's down to the game itself, but I've not really been able to hit like 100% hits throughout different workouts or anything like that, and it's always the uppercuts that bugger me up. Similarly, what I'd also find is that because you're punching forward and so on and so forth, I'd also find that I'd start moving forward towards the telly. So like health warning for your TV if you're starting to move forward. That does then obviously move you slightly out of timing alignments. You do start to notice and then like check yourself up and back you go. But yeah, really, really thoroughly enjoyed this. It does have a calorie counter, which I don't think is really accurate, but it does give you a stat to kind of aim at and go for. There is also an online option as well, although whenever I've been online, no one else has been. But the idea is that you can actually do workouts all together and kind of see how well everyone else is doing with their timing and their calorie count. So good little feature. So I guess if you've got some people where you're still like socially distancing, but you want to do some kind of fitness workout together, this is a really good investment, I think, because 100 tracks so you don't get bored, and there's a variety of genres as well. So I made like a rock playlist, which was grand, and a dance and electronic and pop one, because I'm not massively a hip hop person, so if I could kind of filter out some of those when I wanted to, that was grand. And then when they came in during the general workouts, they were kind of like a spicy surprise, so I didn't feel like put off by them. But yeah, I could really see if you wanted to, getting a couple of you online and running all this together, and then you can be social, chat, get knackered and get fit at the same time. So yeah, lots of thumbs up for me. I don't really have any other negatives to say whatsoever. This has been a really great investment, and what's really made it clear to me is that this feels very similar to Beat Saber in some ways. But Beat Saber has a really small track roster unless you want to pay out for like an album of DLC about a very specific band. And what BoxVR has shown me is that if you put out an absolute ton of different songs, none of which you've heard from, but all of which have that adrenaline pumping thumper to them, actually that goes such a long way to stopping you getting bored and getting into monotony. And kind of tuning out from the game, and this then becomes like a real focused fitness knackering experience if you want it to be. So yeah, that's BoxVR out now. 3 difficulties for each song, tons and tons of content to get away with online if you want it, and yeah, a good little calorie and stat counter as well, so that when you finished your settings, you can kind of see what your total progress is, either from week to month to all time. So that can be really rewarding to look back on over time and just notice exactly how many chocolates, turkeys and Christmas puds that you've worked off. I might do some live gameplay of this in the new year so that you can just see just exactly how a fat person deals with this game, because I think that'd be quite funny. But until then, there'll be a written review on over on highplanegames.com. And I'm going to get back to it and try and work on these Thunder Fires, because no one else is going to work on them for me. You guys take care. Bye. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a collection of media projects ran by me. If you like what you see and want to find out more, visit patreon.com/Higher Plane Network. Your support can make so much more possible, be that a like, a comment, a share, or a pledge. Thanks for watching.